Okay, so in this video we're going to create another chart. It's going to be the execution chart, and we're going to introduce the pattern finder, and we're going to show you how we use Renko candles to find trades. So without further ado, let's switch to the charts. Right, so in the previous video we added the data bot on that we needed, which was the delta bot, and we also added the structure bot on, which was the day plan bot, and the ATR bot. And from that we're going to, in subsequent videos, develop a trading system. So we've got the firm grounding, now we've got the data that we need. Now we're going to be looking at how we query that. So what I want to do here is I'm going to duplicate this chart, right, and then we're going to change the settings, just duplicating it for speed, right, and then I'm going to tile them vertically so you can see them. Now I'm going to move that day plan out there, and you can see how it starts looking tidier when we're just looking at one particular day, right, which is all we're going to look at. Now on this execution chart we're going to use a flex Renko chart, and my settings for the DOW for this one are going to be flex Renko 4021, right. So this is now changed this to a flex Renko chart. Now what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to remove the day plan manager from here and the ATR bot, and what I'm actually going to do is copy the information over from the 30-minute chart onto the Renko chart. Renko charts are highly intensive when it comes to CPU, so we don't want to be constantly recalculating those levels because we don't need to. So the way I do that is I use the study overlay in CO charts, and that basically brings in a study from another time frame. So we're going to take the 30 minutes and we're going to bring in the ATR. So we're going to do that one first, right. Now we want to put it in the chart region 1 so that it marries up with the prices and actually on the chart. So we've done that, right. So that's the first thing we want to do, and then I'm going to duplicate that, and then I'm going to bring the day plan across. So again, we're just going to pick that, and we're going to do that, and then we should see all the day plan levels on here, right. So straight away we can see what actually happened yesterday. Now what I'm actually just going to do on this chart, just to show you, is on the scale I'm actually going to put the day of week on there because I want to basically see what day we're looking at, and I'm going to do the same for that one, right. So another top tip so that you know what you're doing, which day you're on, right. Right, so you can see we're working on Tuesday, we're looking at the levels, and if we move this along it automatically marks the levels out for your given day. So you can see here we came down, and we came down on ATR low at this level here. Now what I'm going to do is just going to mark that out with a vertical line, right. You can see there that we came within this level, and I'm just going to mark that out so you can see we came within, let's have a look, the bottom of that, 23 points. So the low was 23 points. So now for the purposes of this we're going to basically get the pattern finder to find me a pattern, right, and then we're going to show you this in action. So this video is all about finding patterns, right. So obviously we have the candles on there, and just to recap with the candles, obviously these are now at a more granular level. We can see there we've got passive buyers, right, holding this with heavy volume, right. So that's what we class as a magic candle because it's got a circle around it, an outline, sorry, and you can see there we've got aggressive buyers, aggressive sellers, and so on and so forth. Now that from there to there did nearly 500 points, and I think from the top to bottom it did over 500 points from the low, right. So how do we find the lows and the highs, right? Well, that's where the magic comes in, because basically what we're going to do is read the order flow, right, and tell a story. So basically what we're doing here is we're basically reading the order flow. So we've got aggressive sellers there, they slow down. Then we've got passive sellers, that's light blue, holding price down, and then they have one last push. Now a point to note here is when you've got aggressive sellers and they fail, they become aggressive buyers, right? So you've got 4 types of traders in this game. You've got passive buyers, passive sellers, aggressive buyers, and aggressive sellers and aggressive buyers, right? You need one side to be aggressive and one side to be passive, right? So basically what I mean by that is, this, for instance, there we've got a passive buyer, right? That is literally holding these aggressive sellers down. So the aggressive sellers are hitting it, but the passive buyer is overcoming the aggressive sellers. So it's quite important that you understand this, because at the end of the day, this is how the markets work. Then the aggressive sellers give up, and then guess what happens? You get a massive pop, right? So the candles measure the efficiency of the buyers and sellers. So and if I just show you this in detail, just to show you, right? And you can see we actually have a 2 sets, right? I want to make this bigger. Right, on the one I'm looking for is delta efficiency, right, which is there. And I'm struggling because we've got that much data on here. What I do is this, and I'll show you this as a top tip to pull the data out. Right, we're going to do that. So we get the subgraph above text study, and we're just going to take the delta, and then we're going to look at what we want to look at, which is the delta efficiency, just to show you there. So what I want to show you here is basically just how we map the delta efficiency. So, and I'm just going to get rid of this. So depending on what these readings are, depends on how efficient the traders are. Now, from that we can use that information to gauge where we're at within the markets. So we've got lots of information that we can query, and we can see just exactly what's going on here, and literally from it we map it into a given bar color. Right, so we can look at the bar color, and then basically we can use this. But this is all the information that we have the ability to query on the Delta bot. Now, without further ado, we're just going to ditch that for a sec, and we're going to show you the magic in action. So the first thing I want to do here is I'm going to bring up the pattern finder, which is under the Delta bot. And we've got a few things that we want to set up. Now, the first thing we want to do is actually import the data. So we want the Delta bot to be using the Delta database, excuse me, which it is. We're going to look for a buy pattern, right? And the first thing we're going to do is say, look, I want to see, and I'm just going to show you this in action, right? I'm going to do is do any cell, here we go, any cell, and cell. And then what we're going to look for, right, is a magic candle aggressive up. So basically we're going to say we want to have a buy, but we want to query it and say, look, we want the volume threshold to be on the bar 1, sorry, on bar 4 actually, bar 4, and these are all the patterns that we can look for. We want to look for the volume threshold. So just to give you an idea, we can look at custom information, we can look at whether or not we're in price discovery mode. As an example, there's loads. If I just go through some of them, so you can compare prices, you can do higher lows, you can do sweeps, you can look at market depth data, you can look at delta by price, you can look at volume by price. So we can actually bring in a volume profile bot, and then we can actually look at percentage of average volume by price. The list is endless, so this is actually very in-depth as to what we've developed here. So for this purpose of this, I'm just going to look at the volume threshold, right? And what I'm going to do is look at this and see where this gets me a candle on there. Now I am going to have a look. Right, it's actually candle 1. So basically candle 1 and then working backwards. Right, so this is the volume threshold. Right, so you can see there that basically we've set this up and we've now identified this pattern. So we've identified 3 sells down and 1 up and an aggressive buy. Right, now that on its own does generate signals, but you can see there you won't want to be doing it there. Right, potentially you do get signals obviously that fail here, right, and obviously every single one is, see that one's a good signal there, that's not, but that is a level. Now basically obviously when this plays out, and this is about using your risk to reward, right, you're playing out for 200 points, so the stop we have on the DOW is about 25, so that would effectively fail, in this instance I going for the target of the other side. Right, now that's not a level there from a point of view of the level that we're looking at, which is the ATR level. Right, so let's have a look at how we would filter the ATR levels. Right, so what we're actually going to do here, we've got the ATR level there. We're going to move that to the top and move that to the top for calculation purposes. Right, and then we're going to basically bring that in to the bot, and we're going to query it. Now I need to get the right bot, which is the pattern finder. Right, so we can also do multi-signal as well, so pretty much that helps from a point of view if we wanted to put into higher lows as an example, and I'll just show you that in action. So if you had a situation where you wanted to look at these 2 magic pinks as an example, right, and we're just going to change that, so we're just going to have 1 candle on this. So we're going to do any buy including absorption, right, but we're only going to do absorption on the buy side. We're not interested in selling side absorption. Right, so we're just going to ditch that for a sec, just to show you this in action, and we can use this. We can actually use this as our trade setup as well. So right, so we've got the threshold there, we've got that. Now that should give me them. So, and you can see these patterns there coming on these. Now what I want to do is, I've got the volume threshold. That's where I made a mistake there. I put the volume threshold as 0, sorry, it should have been 1. So there you go. So we're on the volume threshold, correct? Right, schoolboy error. Now what I want to do there is I want to create a signal of 2 signals, right? I want a bar at least between them, and I want at least 5 points between the signals, and I want a multi-signal, right? So just going to do that. Now what I can do is bring the multi-signal onto the system. So we're just going to put point on low, so we're just going to look for that. And I am basically doing this as I'm going along, so it's live, so pretty much just, and we're going to see what we get here. Right, so at the moment we've got no multi-signal there, so we're point on low. So what have we done wrong? Number of bars, right, that's what, I just want 1 max number of bars, we need to be, I typed in wrong. Right, so we've got max number of bars, we want minimum number of bars, minimum difference. Now this should generate me a signal. So So here basically we set this to 2 signals, and then we've got a maximum of 20 bars. We want to see these signals, and what we should see now is these green dots here, right? And what I'm just going to do is just make the diamonds smaller so you can actually just see these. So we're just going to change the draw style to be custom so that we can change these default settings. I'm going to bring that down, and then we're just going to change the colour of that to be orange so you can just see. Right, so we've got the singular signals there, and obviously what we've got here, so basically in a nutshell, singular signal there, but we've not got a sequence of signals, so we don't get a trigger. Singular signal there, don't get a trade, and then you see there we've got one there. Singular signal there, which is lower, right? Because basically in a nutshell, what we're saying here is on this multi-signal system, is we want them to be higher or lower. If I take that off as an example, right, then basically that potentially could get some false signals. So I'm going to leave it on as we speak. The reason it hasn't triggered between there is the number of bars, but we won't actually want it to trigger in that sequence anyway. So you can see just how powerful the pattern finder is. So literally there we just automatically can find your higher highs, right? And we can bring in information, so we can, for instance, if you want us to bring in our RSI or MACD or anything, you can bring in custom information. Although we don't personally use it within our trading, but it's there basically. We can also do multi-time frame, so basically we can actually bring in multi-time frame, and we can actually bring in on bar close, so that stops any repainting issues. So with signals that would come up when you're in back testing, but not actually in a live environment because the bar's not closed. So again, that's something we can do as well. We've got a mode here for calculations. So pretty much, if we want to do, which I'll just show you, got full debugging on this as well. And show evaluate that. Evaluate. So on bar close, but you've also got the ability to do real-time evaluation. So this bot will just constantly just run until it gets the signal, right? Or a bar close, or by volume, or by seconds, or volume steps. So that's obviously quite useful. So now, what I am going to just do is let's bring in a level into play. So obviously you can see there we've got these signals here, and we've got a signal there which is near the ATR low. Now what I'm going to just do there is filter out the other signals just to show you that in place. Right, there's a couple of ways we can do this. We can actually bring it in via a custom bar, or we can just do this. We can enable a price range radar around this level. So we're on the Renko, and then we have the ATR, and then we're just going to bring in an ATR low. Now watch them all disappear, right? And then basically we're going to look at something within the range of 50 as an example. Now what we've got there is basically we don't have that sequences because it's not near the pattern finder. So we're just going to go back to this to show you the pattern finder in action. So we're going to do any cell, and just do any cell again, right? And we're going to just take off the demonstration of the multi-signal because we don't need that, right? So in fact that'll automatically come off, so it's not an issue. Right, so we also need a buy. So in this instance we're going to do a buy, including absorption. Right, now we've got nothing yet, So we're going to look at this in more detail. There's a couple of things to note on this. Right. Just going to do 100. I'm just going to disable that to see what we've got from a debugging point of view. So at the moment we've not got anything triggering. Right. So what we need to just do, and we're just going to take that off for a sec. Right, so we've got the signal there that we want. Right. Now, that, I believe, will be bar free. Right, so we've got bar free, so we've got the heavy volume what I wanted to see, and we've got the selling signal there. Right, but we want confirmation by putting that level in place. So we're just going to do that. And that should, if I've done it right, which I don't think I have yet. That's the offset, right. Change the amount, change the wrong amount, that's my bad. Right, so now we've got the signal based on, we come within the range of 100 points. Now, just going to show you this. If I do it within 1 point, it should take it off, which it does. Right, obviously we want it within the ATR, as in the average true range of a candle, right, which we're working on 40. So that's there. Now I should take off everything else on the system, so then you don't get the false signals, right, and you can see there. Now, basically when it comes into the zone, with that pattern, it will trigger, right? So now what we can do is quite easily is with these bots we can, as we see common patterns at common levels, right? We've got 3 down and then we've got the up there, so you can see that levels there. You can actually modify these or duplicate these. So as an example, if I wanted to duplicate that, right, and just take off the high volume node test, right, then I can take that off and then we can see what we get there. So basically we haven't got the filter on the high volume node, right, and here we're going in any cell and we're dipping here, so you can see there we've got a dip. So what you can actually do is look at the offsets, right, so you can look, effectively sort of look below and fail, right. So what you can do here is offset it as well. So as an example, you could offset it. Now that is, and I'm going to just measure this in a sec to see what we've got. I'm just going to take that off just for 2 seconds and then we'll measure it. So it should trigger that one, which it has, right. Then if we look at this, use the chart calculator, you can see we need an offset on that, and then obviously we need price action to follow that. Now you can put these in ranges as well, so pretty much you can use the custom pattern finder to do ranges as well. So pretty much if we want to do that, we can do that as well. So now this is just one pattern finder in action here. So what we're just going to basically do, so here we have what we're basically going to do is just going to do is here we have an offset level of 40 and a range of 100. So if it comes within that price band, right, then you will get a signal. So you can see just how easy it is to create these signals and then to put them into the next, which we're going to show in the next videos, how to put it into a decision bot to actually generate a trade. So you can see we've got a signal there. And these candles are deceptive. You still got 40 points there before that then fails. So, but if you can see there we've got one there. Right, so 135 points. That one effectively would fail depending on your entry. Right, now from the low of that level to there is 130 points. Now what I'm going to show you on that is this in a subsequent video, how we can actually make that work and make that money work for us, because the fact of the matter is We actually potentially don't want to market into that, because if you marketed into that, you'd end up with an entry up here. You'd then come down, and if you had a stop of 25, you get stopped out, right? We use VWAP, right, and we use as one of the algorithms to enter, and I'm going to show you that on a subsequent video as to how the different algos work. So today, what we've done today is we've just purely looked at the pattern finder. Right, and this is the execution screen. So on the next video, we're going to look at how we actually basically add some more indicators on to show you what price is doing, and also in subsequent videos we're going to look at the adding the decision bot on and the trade manager to basically execute a trade. So I'm going to see you on the next video, and I hope this has been useful.